everyone! So it is time for a new video, and this is hopefully going to be a short one. I have been doing millions of reading vlogs, but I want to do some more sit-down videos. Let me know what you would like to see in terms of that, what recommendations you would like to see from me, and all of that. So today I'm very excited. This is super spontaneous. I literally did my makeup for this at 8 p.m. just so I could talk about all these books, cause I just found out that there's a readathon called Life on the Edge, and it is hosted by Amanda from the Instagram Talk About Swoon. I did not even know this Instagram account, nothing. Just one of my friends on Instagram shared the readathon and I immediately was intrigued, and I cannot wait to this is a concept that is just everything, and I feel like this angle is really weird. I have no idea if that's better. Anyways, so the readathon, like I said, is called Life on the Edge, and the main point is to stop edging and start reading, and the definition written here for book edging is, as a reader, the act of purposely avoiding reading a book you're very excited to read in order to prolong the anticipation of reading it. I literally, this is something I do so much. I have mentioned it before in a different way with a different definition, but it basically meant exactly this. I do this so often. I have so many books on my TBR that I bought either ages ago or not that long ago, but I keep, putting it on my TBR, saying about how it's gonna be my new favorite book ever, and then I don't read it, and it is just ridiculous. So it is happening the entire month of August, and I think there's a different readathon happening if I understood it correctly. G from the Book Roast is doing the Aurelium readathon, and I thought it was a different month than August, but I think it might be in August. So if that is the case, I might do a whole different TBR. I definitely would love to participate in both, but I'm most certainly participating in this. So I have quite a big pile here, and that's definitely not everything at all. I just thought of another book, and this is just my physical TBR. So let's just get started. Let's get into these books, and I just realized there's gonna be prompts and I didn't look at them in advance, so let's also look at that. Of course, I'm gonna link the Instagram and everything down below, and okay, there is a very big bingo board, so I did not choose the books based on that, but we're gonna figure it out along the way. The first book that I have here is, spoiler alert, by Olivia Dade. I cannot fucking believe that I have not read this. I fucking adore Olivia. I think she is a wonderful writer and an amazing person, but I have not read this one. I have read other books by Olivia, but not this. I have been dying to read this ever since I got it, and I even started it. I got to page 46. I have the bookmark in it still. And it just was not the right time. Again, I was just, sometimes I start a book and it's not that I'm not enjoying it at all. I just then can put it back down and do the whole book edging thing once again. So this is fucking getting read. I want to feature it in a specific vlog as well. I took it here with me to Edinburgh. I need to read this book. I'm gonna read this book. If you don't know what it's about, I don't know the exact details, but we have positive fat representation, which one of the prompts is plus size main character, so that is definitely the case in here. It probably works for first in a series. It is a standalone series, but it's still a series, and whatever, we don't need anything else. So yeah, that is the first book. The second book is one I literally was thinking about it yesterday. I think about these books all the time. And then I keep avoiding them. So that is Real by Kennedy Ryan. This is a really big book, and I also took this with me to Edinburgh, and I had so many plans, specific plans to read this book, my last book of the year, my first book of the year, the book that I read on my birthday, and all of those things, and guess what? It has not been read, it has not been started, but I'm dying to read it. I know I'm gonna adore it. Kennedy Ryan is literally one of my favorite authors. I love her so much, but that makes it harder. And for Kennedy Ryan, she's a very, very specific author in the sense that her books are one of the most intense books I've ever read. the most angsty and emotional, and guess what? I have very low emotional capacity most of the time, and so I'm terrified of these books on top of being excited for them because I'm like, how am I going to handle all these emotions? And you know, she often puts the characters through a lot of pain before they get their happily ever after, and that is just a lot to take in. But I know I'm gonna fucking adore this book, and like it is time. So it is long also, but oh my gosh, it is floppy, and it's like, it's also a shiny copy, like my dream. So this works for romance by a Black author. It's also a workplace romance because I'm pretty sure that the hero is the director and the heroine is like the actress in whatever it might be, movie, show, whatever. These are the ones that like I know of for certain, and oh my gosh, I am scared, but like I need this book in my life. Like, actually read it. The next book that I have here is one that I started recently and I also had so many different plans for, and that is Battle Royale by Lucy Parker. I keep being like, you know, it's not the right time for this, whatever, and like that is just absolutely that is just bullshit. Like, I know I'm gonna love this book. It's Grumpy Sunshine. There's a baking competition. It's gonna be so fun, and I just have not read it yet. Like, I have loved, I read only one book by Lucy Parker before, and that was Pretty Face. Absolutely adored it, and so like, I wouldn't call her my favorite author yet because I haven't read more books, you know, but like she's on the way there, and so obviously I am procrastinating on reading this book, but I need to do this. Like, I just know I'm gonna read it in one sitting basically, but I still keep avoiding it. Then I have a book that I haven't talked about since I bought it, and that is The Perfect Find by T.R. Williams. So if I understand it correctly, this book was published in maybe like 2019 or something like that. Oh, 2016. Oh my gosh. It might be 2016. Wow. Okay, whatever. A while ago, so that means it works for the pre-2020 release. Romance by a Black author, and yeah, don't know what else because I don't know the plot of this book. But here's the thing. I read 7 Days in June by T.L. Williams, one of my all-time favorite books. I adore it. I love it. I just now realized I own a fucking copy. I read it as an audiobook and it immediately became a favorite. I actually vlogged about it. Anyways, so I immediately became a huge fan of T.L. Like, you know, I just said Lucy Parker is not my favorite author yet because I just read one book, but T.L. Williams is definitely one of my favorite authors, even though I just read one book. And so I bought this the second that I found out it existed, because this is a book, if I understand it correctly, it was published in 2016, I guess, and it was republished either this year or last year with this cover. I don't know if there's like anything changed, but it's supposed to be another like adult romance and maybe a forbidden romance now that I am looking at the back, but I cannot wait to read this. And with this one, a part of the reason why I've been like avoiding reading it is because I really want to read it on like a hot summer day. And because the cover is giving me pure summer vibes, and I live in Edinburgh, and that has been difficult. There have been some hot summer days, but I don't know, like I'm not sure if there's been the right time. But I also did, you know, just avoid this book. Because like, how am I going to survive reading it? Because once again, similar to Kennedy Ryan, 7 Days in June was super intense and super emotional. So I'm kind of expecting this to be like that as well. And so how am I going to handle it? But definitely a strong contender for me to read this month, especially if I want to read it on a hot summer day. I need to read it before the summer is over. So then I have a book that, oh my gosh, that is Before We Fall by Readathon. So this is kind of, this is honestly kind of a similar concept, which is this book is going to be very emotional. It deals with a lot of trauma, a lot of pain, and I feel like I need to read painful books, that especially romances that have a happy ending but still deal with painful things, because I just run away from pain both in real life and in books. And so this readathon, I guess, is gonna push me to read super intense shit that I have been procrastinating on. I also love Rilzy. She is one of my absolute favorite authors, and this is the third book that I have physically by her. All of her books are on Kindle Unlimited though, if you can't buy the physical copy or just want any book, you can read them all through that. Very highly recommend. And not all of Rilzy's books are this intense. I think this is going to be like maybe the most emotional book that Rilzy has written. And I just definitely feel like I need this book. And I need to be emotionally stable enough for it, but we're gonna hopefully make it happen. So then I have two rereads actually. So the first one is This Is How You Lose the Time War by Amal El-Mohtar and Max Gladstone. This is one of my all-time favorite books that I loved, that I listened to, and I listened to the audiobook and read the ebook alongside of it. And then a while ago at this point, I got the physical copy because I just needed to own it, but I've never reread it. And I started my reread and I just never finished it. So I would really love to do this, especially because the book is so short and I loved everything about it. I feel like reading it physically is going to make it even more wonderful because the writing in it is so beautiful and I cannot wait to annotate it. And recently, I reread Damaged Goods by Talia Hibbert, and I finally after, you know, the whole procrastinating, I finally did that because I wanted to do that for a million years. So I finally read that, and it's time for me to continue the pattern and reread more of my all-time favorites, because that is something I've been wanting to get to for ages. And I've seen a lot of people that I like watch on BookTube and everything talk about, you know, how like see them reread books and talk about that, and I just like always felt like I struggled with that. But I think a part of it is literally this whole procrastination on, you know, like not wanting the book to be over again because I've already read it, I know I adore it, and I'm like, how am I going to read it again and bear the thought that I'm going to finish it again, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So yes, but we're doing it, and this is a very strong, this is definitely one that I want to get to. So the other one that I actually started today, and I think is going to be my first read of August, is The Roommate Risk by Talia Hibbert. This is a book that I also read as an ebook, I think. I want to own all the physical books by Talia Hibbert, and I want to reread them because I actually have a one that I haven't read yet. And guess what? I fuck that. I'm not doing that for this readathon. I'm not. Cause I have like 3 books left by Talia Hibbert that I have not read. They're not even gonna release a new book this year, okay? And I am not going to take the fact that my favorite author of all time does not have any books for me to read that I haven't read yet. And so I cannot do that, but I can reread the books that I have read already. So we're doing this. I cannot wait. This is Best Friends to Lovers with the roommate trope, aka my favorite tropes of all time. I loved this book, but I also don't really remember it. So yes, a reread is definitely a must, and we're doing it. I have Bombshell by Sarah MacLean. So guess what? I already started this book as well, and I was obsessed with it. And then I put it down. So it was partially this time. I think I was busy. I was working on some type of video, whatever. Like it was not the right time, but also I just have been avoiding picking it up again because of the whole thing. Like I keep repeating it because like I said, I am a pro at book edging. Like I am way too good at it, and it's not good anymore, you know? And so we're reading this. It is a historical romance. The heroine in this is absolutely iconic. That is all that I can tell you for now, because I don't remember, I didn't read that much obviously, so I don't know what the main plot is gonna be. But it's gonna be really good, and we're going to read it. So you're gonna be shocked. I have Twin Crowns by Catherine Doyle and Catherine Weber. Yes, a fantasy book. This is YA fantasy, and I've mentioned it before. Now that I think about it, it might be in vlogs that I haven't put up yet. So I will mention it later multiple times because I bought it, I was super excited for it, and guess what? I didn't read it multiple times. And I actually did start, okay, I did not start this. I just put the bookmark in, but I was going to start it this week, then I didn't really have time, and I am very intimidated because this is a fantasy book and it's long, but I also know I'm going to love it. So a little bit of a different situation. Like I'm super excited for it, but the main reason why I'm not reading it is because I'm scared. But that's another thing that I need to overcome. So we're gonna start this. I will put it out. Okay, I will just say I will start this book, and then I won't feel like I have to read it or whatever, and then I'll actually just finish it because it's gonna be so good. So speaking of long books, I also have Twisted Games by Anna Huang. So I loved Twisted Love, which is the first book in the series. I just realized I have not been looking at the prompts like at all, but whatever. There's a lot of books. I'm sure we're gonna do some bingos. So yeah, I absolutely adored Twisted Love, and so I bought this book pretty much immediately after, even maybe before I finished Twisted Love. And this is a bodyguard romance. It's a royal romance, and I think it's Grumpy Sunshine-ish. And it's also very long, so I just know it's gonna be so good. But once again, I'm procrastinating on it because it's a really long book, but also because it's gonna be very angsty and very emotional. But I also feel like I need to read more. But like, the whole thing is, I think I need to stop reading the most comfortable books on my shelves. You know, like, yes, one of my whole things is that I want to talk about comfort reads. That is who I am, that is what I love. But at the same time, there are those books that are not like as comfortable, that might be a little bit intimidating, but they're going to be even better than some of the other ones that are just more chill. You know, like, I enjoy pretty much all the books that I read because I'm very selective about what I read and I put a lot of thought into it. But at the same time, I want to absolutely adore more books. I want to fall in love with them. I want to savor them. I want to just have the best time ever instead of avoiding these books because I feel like I can't handle how amazing it's going to be, or I don't want it to be over. But guess what? Like, if this book is over, I'll have this book, and then I'll have this book, and like, I'm never going to run out of these incredible books that I keep fucking avoiding, you know? Like, I literally have that issue, and it's ridiculous as fuck. Like, anyways, I have one more physical book, and even though like that's not even the last one, I just did not want to be here for a million years, and so it is the last one that I'll talk to you about now. But that is A Far Wilder Magic by Alison Saft that I started annotating. And so that means I definitely feel like I'm going to love it. I got to page 40 and then I went back to avoiding it. So this once again is a fantasy, so I'm a little bit intimidated by that. But like, oh my gosh, I'm already in love with the main characters. And even as I'm saying this, I'm like, I need to read this book because it was already so exciting. Sorry about the background. It means my laptop is asleep. It's connected to the TV. Whatever, I'm almost done. So we're just gonna I'm just gonna try to hide that a little bit. So yeah, this is a book that I'm very excited for, where two kind of nemesis, like they don't like each other. Wes basically moves in with Maggie because he wants to wait for her mother, but the mother might not actually return, and Maggie, both of them are just very much struggling, and they also don't like each other, and they're gonna team up to like kill this creature for fame and riches, which both of them kind of feel like they need. Last, but by no means least, is a book that I just forgot the name of, so give me a second. A Deal with the Devil by Elizabeth O'Rourke. Honestly, feel like I need to get a physical copy of this book. And I have actually been in love with physical reading, a part of like the way that I am actually learning to just savor books and really fall in love with them. And this book is actually on Kindle Unlimited, which then makes it really difficult for me to buy the physical copy. I've been avoiding it as well, and I actually think that a part of it is the fact that I just have the ebook, because like I've just been in such a strong physical reading mood, which makes me so happy because this is a point that I wanted to get to for so long. And so I think it might be worth getting. So I'm not sure when that will be able to, like, I don't know when I'll be able to make that happen, but I wanted to mention it in here because it is most certainly a book that I've been book edging. So I will stop saying those words and I will shut the fuck up. But let me know if you're gonna participate in this readathon, because I feel like it is going to be absolutely epic. I think it's gonna be epic and iconic and absolutely wonderful. So stay tuned, because like vlogs are coming. I'm so behind on editing, so a lot of them will not be related. A lot of the upcoming vlogs will not be related to this readathon. So don't come at me for not reading this TBR, but I'll try to edit quicker, and I will definitely be vlogging for this readathon. You might just see it in the second half of the month, but let me know what you're planning on reading this month and if you're considering participating in this. And if you made it this far in the video, leave a leaf emoji down below. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'm gonna see you soon in another video. Bye!